Hello, everybody, and welcome to a unlive, not live, a basically my internet died, so I'm doing this the old-fashioned way, and I am here with Horsehead Weekly, week number 5, restarting the this, and so this is gonna be a little weird. Anyways, so for this week we are going over incentive and kicker scoring. Incentives because we have $50 that we don't know what to do with. I think a great incentive would be the commissioner, and then I just get $50 because I spent all the effort on this. But I don't think you guys are going to go for that one. And the second thing we have to go over this week is the kicker scoring because we haven't had kickers in a little while, and I wanted to just see how people felt about kicker scoring and how we should be handling it. So yeah, so basically this week that's what we're going to be going over, but we're going to start off with a recap of the decisions we have made thus far in this series. And as always, especially now that I've done this once already to an audience of no one because my internet went down, I got to go fast. So, preseason recap, the draft date, Saturday, August 24th at 8 p.m. EST. That is 5 p.m. if you are on the Pacific Coast. And if you are here in the Albany, Saratoga, Schuylerville region, we're meeting up at Milks, and that's where we're going to be doing it. He will have more information as to what time to come over, how much money he wants for pizza, if it's, alcohol, whatever else is going on. And I believe there will be some maybe games going on. It'll probably all be like the duds, who just trying to figure out who's making the team or not, but maybe you'll put some football on in the background. And the format for this year is it is a draft. It is no keepers, and Yahoo will be hosting the everything after the draft. But the draft itself will be on Clicky Draft. So if you are not able to make it to Malcolm's house, please jump on Clicky Draft and make an account and everything like that. And what will happen is on Saturday, the 24th at 8 p.m., we will start the draft, and everyone at Malcolm's will have it on the TV, and we'll all be able to sit around with our sheets, and we'll be crossing off stuff and everything like that. And you can, from your own home, relax, sit back, kick your feet up, and use whatever crazy software technology you're going to use to try to pick out the best players. As somebody complained that they wouldn't be able to use their technology on Clicky Draft or something like that. I don't know. Weird people doing weird things. And in other news, we have that potential demonstration league is now a thing. It'll be on Sleeper. Malcolm is the commissioner. I have made him the commissioner of the league on Sleeper itself, and he can do whatever he wants with it. I have made some suggestions about it being an auction league, it being a keeper league, having cool scoring for things like kickers having points per yard for the field goal they make. So if you kick a 50-yard field goal, oh my God, that's crazy. You get 5 points. You kick a 30-yard field goal, it's only 3 points, stuff like that. Doing other weird things like points per first down instead of points per reception. Cool, interesting, weird, and wacky stuff. That's what I want done with it. But as I said, it's Malcolm's league. He can do whatever he wants with it. And whoever the lucky dude or lady is who ends up winning, they get some baloney. A whole lot of baloney. So to the baloney king or queen, let's go. Let's make this happen. This is going to be a fun league. A lot more relaxed, a lot more fun, a lot more, dicking around and just random nonsense. But that is it for what we have done. Now when we look to the future with draft positions, you have 6 days, less than 6 days now, because it is noon on 8, 12, 19. You must get me what positions you would like, because if you do not, I will simply ignore your spot. So if you are the 5th in ranking, you are the 5th person to pick. But if you don't send me your picks, guess what? You just get a random pick at the end. You don't get a random pick there, you get a random pick at the end. So not only do you miss a chance at getting the pick you would have gotten if you submitted it, somebody else can come and take it. And you could be stuck if you're the only person not to submit, just getting stuck at whatever the worst, quote-unquote, worst position is that the league has decided. So yeah, please, people, please, either post it in the chat, send it to me in a private message of some kind. You have been warned several billion times at this point, and I will be hounding people this weekend about it. I'll just be posting in Slack. I'll be messaging people individually who haven't done it. But if you don't do it, then that's too bad. We've talked about it enough at this point, both in the chat and everywhere else. So just please, 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 please do it. Save me the trouble of tracking everybody down, because if you don't have it in by noon, that's just too bad for you. Weekly topics for this week. There are two. We're going to start off with the incentives. What are we doing with that tasty $50? Again, commissioner incentive would be really nice, but I also understand that you guys are all gambling degenerates and you want the most money out there to be taken. So what I came up with is I came up with 4 ideas. If you have any better ideas, any other ideas, feel free to kick it around in the chat. I would love to hear them. I'm sure everybody else would too. We can come up with some really cool ways to deal with this $50, or we could always vote in the chat just to have that $50 be lumped into something else. Maybe the rest of the prize pools get a little bit of a bump, or something like that. I don't really know. I like having an extra incentive, though. I think it really, spices it up for people who may not be winning the league. It gives them something else to look forward to every single week. And so yeah. So the 4 we have here are positional points, roto scoring, best ball, and pick'em. So those are the 4 we're looking at. So let's jump into what they are. And we're going to start off with positional points. This is what we've had over the last few years. It took a lot of work on my end for only a $5 payout per person, which a lot of people didn't really care about. They basically looked at this $5 payout as like a cool, I got this at the end, whatever type of thing, because you're only getting a 20th of what you put in out with this incentive structure. I don't think that's worth it. I think it'd be a lot better if it was something maybe where top 2 paid out, or even just one person got $50 at the end, similar to the Eliminator. I think that'd make people a lot more interested, a lot more feisty about it. So if we were going to go back to positional points, I'd like to move in that direction, which is what the Roto is about, but I'll get there in a second. Basically, this slide is just me saying, I don't want to do 5 points per person per payout. Let's move towards a bigger chunk, because I think that's a better way to have people be interested in it, because I don't think I've seen a single person care or manipulate their lineup in order to get positional points over the last few years. I think it's literally just cool, I got an extra $5. I guess I'll go to Taco Bell and get 2 tacos or whatever. So that's what positional points is. Now I'm going to move on to what I want to go into, or one of my real options I want to talk about, which is Roto. So for those of you who don't know, there is in baseball Roto leagues, and what they do is they look at how many strikeouts somebody has, and then they rank everybody in the league. So if you have 10 people in the league and you're in first place, congratulations, you get however many points are determined to be there. And it's like, great, you got the most strikeouts, so that's what you get. You got the least strikeouts for your batters, cool, there you go. You get more more points, and whoever has the most points, based on how they finish in different categories, you win. So what I'm looking at for Roto is one of 2 different ways it could go. It could be positional points, where it's okay. So whoever is the best quarterback throughout the season, they get 15 points, 25 points, however it is, however we want to do the scoring. And then the best running backs, they get theirs. Wide receiver, they get theirs, and it trickles down to probably 0 points at the end. And then we say, okay, who has the most points? Congratulations, you get it now. This tends to lead towards people who have who have higher scores, who are better at different positions than other people. And hey, maybe it will lead to something interesting. Maybe somebody who doesn't end up winning anything else will win that. Who knows? I think it could be an interesting way to go about it. The other thing I was looking at, do it like they do in baseball. It could be yards. So just how many yards do people put up in a single week? If this is the one that's picked, I will go insane trying to figure out all this data and calculate it. I might regret saying this, but I think it'd be really cool, because you can do like yards, touchdowns, turnover differential, and we can come up with our list of Roto categories that we want to use. And I think it'd be really interesting to see how that works out, because you have things like tackles and sacks and stuff like that on the defense. And then on the other, those are 3 players on your team. That's being weighed against total field goals, and that's only 1 player. And then those are being weighed against how many yards, or how many passing yards versus receiving yards versus rushing yards. I don't want to get too tiny with it. I want to keep it to at most 10, preferably 8. We can't really do like a 5x5 or something like they do in the MLB, because we don't have as many defensive players as we do offensive players or anything like that. But I think it'd still be interesting to see how that works out. So that is Roto. And the second thing we have is Best Ball. So for those of you who don't know, Best Ball leagues are you have a draft. And at the end of the draft, everyone goes, this has been fun. Now let's just watch. We don't have waivers. We don't have trades. We don't have lineups to set. It is literally just whoever has the best score for that week at that position. Congratulations, you are the starter in that position. So this is a pretty popular format for people right now to be drafting in because it is still really early on, so you don't want to do seasonal leagues. But it's a fun thing to just kind of, play around with. And I've been doing a couple of these, and they've been a lot of fun because there's a lot of different strategies. Like, do you go for like Patrick Mahomes and Cam Newton, and then all of a sudden you're like, great, so I'm totally locked down at quarterback, or do you just take 3 dudes at the end, assuming that one of them is going to have a good week, and use those earlier picks to fill out the rest of your draft? I mean, who knows? Who knows what's the best strategy is? I don't, because I don't pay enough attention to best ball leagues. But I think it'd be really interesting to go that route. The only issue with this is we would then have to have a second draft. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be pretty wiped out after a how many positions do we have in our league? It's a billion. So like a 16 round draft that we have, and then you have to follow that up with a best ball draft, which is typically 18 or 20 or 24 spots. So we're not gonna be able to do it in the same night. So it'll be really interesting to see how we end up going with that. I think that's the big issue, but I think it'd be really cool. I just don't want to do it with our current league unless we're literally going to say, okay, after we fill our rosters in this league, then you start selecting people that only count for your best ball league, and I think that's getting a little bit weird with it because a lot of people are going to be going to take like someone might take a second quarterback, and then they don't care about it for the league in order to have a little bit of a better best ball team. I don't know. It's an option. I think it'd be really cool, but the logistics are a little bit difficult. The next one is Pick'em. We've done this before. We can do it one of two ways. We can do it in the NFL, either head-to-head or against the spread, or in the Horsehead League itself. There is a Pick'em option that I can turn on Yahoo, which basically says, okay, who picked the winners of each fantasy football contest throughout the season. So I feel like if we were going to do it, I'd rather do it with our teams, as wacky as that would be and as weird as that would be, rather than picking the NFL matchups, just because it keeps it fantasy football based. But I think it'd be pretty cool. It'd be another option, and I don't really know what you guys think, but that is what people are going to be getting into soon. Another thing we have to talk about, and this isn't in the big breakdown, but as I've been saying, the payout, I want it to be $50 for the winner instead of a bunch of little tiny $5 incentives. Or if we're not going to go $50 for the winner, congratulations, you get all the money. I would rather do it like a $35, $15 split, so at least you get something and you're like, oh, this feels sizable, this feels good. I think winner take all is the way to go, but if people want to be weird about it, we can always do it that way. Because who knows, who cares, whatever. So that's the payout. Now the next topic is kickers. So these are all of the options that we have available, and you can change the points up and down for it. But these are all the options that we have available for kickers in Yahoo. It is not like Sleeper or any of the, or maybe even ESPN, but I don't think ESPN. It's not like Sleeper where there's like a bunch of options where you can pick like field goal attempt from 50 plus yards. So even if you miss it, it's still like, you can still get points for the attempt. Which is weird, but you can do it that way. Point after attempts, I feel like that's a pretty easy one we can all agree on. It probably should be just 1 point. Point after missed, though, who knows? Should that be -2 points, -1 point, 0 points? And then what about field goal misses? Like if you miss a really close field goal, you should get a lot of negative points versus a 50 and you get none? Because 50 yards is really hard to do anyways, and it's more of a incentive to make it than not to. I don't know. What about those really close chip shots? 0 to 19. Should it be a 3-point score, or should it be a little bit less? Should it be a 2 or 1 point thing? Because it's a chip shot. Maybe it shouldn't be worth as much. I mean, I know in the league, like the NFL, they're worth 3 points. But I don't think 3 points necessarily needs to be it, because passing touchdowns only count as 4 points, and a passing touchdown is not worth 4 points in the NFL. Um, I mean, you don't get points for yardage or anything like that. So I feel like we can maybe make it like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then negative 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, and then point afters are +1, -2, something like that. This is what I kind of came up with on the fly. Ivy, oh my God, what is that about? I have the dogs upstairs with me right now. Ivy decided she wanted to be part of the show. Hi, Ivy. Everyone says hi. They love you. You're so good. Um, so yeah, so that's basically it for Iviana. Um, so yeah, that's basically it for kickers. I mean, my 2 cents is get rid of kickers because they suck. They're horrible. They are incredibly swingy. It is very hard to predict from week to week how well they're going to do, more so than anybody else. I think they are a drag on the draft because they just end up being the second to last round or last round. Somebody, of course, is going to spite me by taking, somebody at the very, very, not the very, very end. They're going to take them in like the fourth to last round or something just to show off. Hi, you guys. I see you. You're very cute pups, but I'm in the middle of something, and then I'll take care of whatever you have going on. Basically, get rid of kickers. They suck. Kick them out of the league. So voting time. 3 votes this week. What is the last incentive? What is the payout? And what are we doing for the kicker scoring? Ivy, you're being very rude. You need to stop. Stop. You can't bark if I'm playing with you, right? Um, oh, well, you can do that. Um, anyways, so moral of the story is we have some votes to make. My God, this is just the worst show ever. Um, we will vote Friday on it. Please discuss on what you want now. Next week we will talk about divisional alignment and any cleanup we have, anything we haven't discussed yet, anything that we need to discuss. Maybe I can talk about divisional alignment, and then also, if Malcolm wants to jump in, he can talk about the Baloney League, and we can try to figure out what we're doing with that. And he can, maybe try to plug it and get more people to show up, whatever he wants to do with it. I don't know. I don't care. So anyways, if you have any strong opinions on divisional alignment, or you have anything that I haven't touched yet that you think I should be discussing, please let me know. Divisional alignment, this is a super... Oh, and then I'll also be talking about the draft order. I'll be revealing the draft order in the show. But I think this is something that's very interesting because I don't know why people want to realign divisions, but if they do, please talk about it in the chat this weekend so that way I can know what I'm proposing. Because it very well could just be me saying, hey guys, let's just talk about it this week. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And then I just make the big reveal. I talk to some players about some nonsense. Would you guys mind not biting my chair? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But after that, that's pretty much it. And I will see you guys next week. And thanks for stopping by. Bye.